Hello and welcome to the next episode of Medicos FM. Today's topic is congenital diaphragmatic hernia. It is a congenital defect in diaphragm and herniation of abdominal contents into the thoracic cavity. The left-sided hernias are more common than the right side. These congenital diaphragmatic hernias are divided on the location of defect. The location can be in the esophageal hiatus, or it can be para-esophageal, or it can be retrosternal. But posterolateral defect near the foramen of Bokdelek is usually the most common. It is involved in about 90% of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Congenital diaphragmatic hernia is also associated with some syndromes like trisomy 13 or Patau syndrome, trisomy 18 or Edward syndrome, Turner syndrome, etc. Now coming to the clinical features. Neonates with congenital diaphragmatic hernia usually present at birth with respiratory difficulty or gasping respiration or inadequate spontaneous respiration. There is diminished air entry to the affected lung as the contents of abdominal cavity herniates into the thoracic cavity that pushes the one lung and that causes the diminished air entry to the affected lung. Because of the presence of abdominal contents like intestinal loops or stomach into the thoracic cavity, the heart is displaced to the opposite side with shifting of apex beat. Because of the presence of intestinal loops into the thoracic cavity, peristaltic sounds may be heard on auscultation at ipsilateral chest. How can we diagnose congenital diaphragmatic hernia? Congenital diaphragmatic hernia can be diagnosed prenatally or postnatally. Regarding the prenatal diagnosis, antenatal ultrasonography after 16 weeks of gestation can diagnose congenital diaphragmatic hernia in the fetus. Another clue is that polyhydramnios is associated in about 70% cases of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Regarding the postnatal diagnosis, all babies with difficulty in resuscitation should undergo urgent chest X-ray. Congenital diaphragmatic hernia is diagnosed based on the findings on chest X-ray like mediastinal shift or bowel loops in hemithorax. Now, treatment of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. In case of prenatal diagnosis, in utero fetal surgery can be done around 26 to 28 weeks of gestation. Ex utero intrapartum procedure or exit procedure can also be performed. Postnatal management include during resuscitation, urgent endotracheal intubation should be done to start assisted ventilation. Bag and mask ventilation, that is a method of positive pressure ventilation, is contraindicated in case of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Bag and mask ventilation causes gaseous distension of the bowel. As the bowel loops are distended with air, it further pushes the lung and causes more compression of the lung, leading to increased respiratory difficulty. So, bag and mask ventilation is not indicated in case of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Due to the same cause, enteral feeding is contraindicated and the baby is administered with IV fluid and total parenteral nutrition. Nasogastric aspiration should also be done frequently to decompress the distended bowel from air and fluids. Ultimately, surgical repair should be done as early as possible after correction of pH and blood gases. Congenital diaphragmatic hernia is associated with some complications like pulmonary hypertension and pneumothorax. The prognosis and outcome of congenital diaphragmatic hernia depends entirely on the degree of pulmonary hypoplasia, that is, the hypoplasia of a lung. Congenital diaphragmatic hernia is also associated with some long-term consequences like poor catch-up growth, gastroesophageal reflux disease, and neurocognitive defects. So that concludes today's episode on Medicos FM regarding congenital diaphragmatic hernia. You can get the notes regarding the congenital diaphragmatic hernia in our Facebook page and download them as a PDF file from our website. Both the links are given in the description. If you like this episode, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for future episodes of Medicos FM.